So I'm sure you're all noticing that I am logged in as Carol tonight. So Carol had something come up. But in order to record it, I needed to log in as Carol. So I get to be Carol tonight. Yay! So I'm going to give everybody one more minute to get all situated and on, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'm just writing everybody's names down as we go. Okay. So I have a house full of my kids today. So if you hear screaming, yelling children, well, that's why. And they're going outside to play, and I have my window open so we could probably hear them. He's like, oh, I heard you talk about me, so now I'm going to be more crazy. Asher, you're not being funny. This is my mom happy face, right? Yes, it's Asher. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. So hello everyone and happy Wednesday. Here we are for our Zoom call for this week. I am so excited. You know what? I just have to give a big shout out to my sister directors, because I don't know about you guys, but I think these calls have been spectacular. I think they have been so helpful for each and every single person. I think that we're learning different things. We're learning different techniques. I'm learning. I know that they're learning, and we're learning from each other. So you know what? If you haven't done so already, I encourage you to write your director after this call and be like, you know what? Thank you for all you do and the time you invest into us, because you know what? It takes a lot of planning to do all this and to make it work and make it awesome. And so your directors have been so spectacular on this. And so I'm excited. I'm just blessed to work with the best. Okay. So tonight I have the pleasure of speaking to you on time management. Now, this is not always like the best or easiest topic to talk to anybody about. But I do feel like it's one that is fairly important. So the first thing I think that we need to realize is that what time management looks like for each person and individual in their business is going to be completely different. Okay, I'm going to repeat that because that's so important. What time management looks like for each individual person in their business is completely different. Okay, now I have been in different seasons of my business in Mary Kay. And so, oops, can you guys hear that? Whoops. Yes, I've been in different seasons of my business. And so I think the thing that's important to know is that I am me, you are you. What works for you is super awesome, may not work for me, right? And so I think with time management, the thing that you really want to grasp and get a hold of is that time is different for everyone. Your time is different for you and what it is looks like in your life. So before I started Mary Kay fully as my full-time career, I worked 2 full-time jobs. I worked 60 to 80 hours a week. Now, managing that time is going to be a lot different than managing my time now with 3 rambunctious children, right? So that's what you as an individual person and a business owner need to figure out and decide what your schedule is going to look like and what season of life you are in. So are you a busy mom? Are you expecting? Are you newly married? Are you in a new relationship? So all those different seasons of life require specific time management. They all require you to look at them differently and be like, okay, what can I give right now? And what am I capable of? I need to go shut this window because I don't know about you guys, but I can hear these kids and it's going to drive me nuts. Sorry, one second. Okay. Sorry, I didn't think they were playing in the front yard. Okay, so yes. So first and foremost, what season are you in your business? I can assure you, Nadia, who is expecting her second child, is in a different season of her life than she was last year. And that it's going to be a different season next year when Hendrix is starting to be a little bit more vocal, moving around, and with a new baby, right? So we go through different seasons in our life. And the biggest thing we need to do is adapt and adjust, okay? So before I can even speak to you on time and what that's gonna look like in your business and in your life, you gotta figure out what season you are in, okay? And so not only the season you're in, but what are you willing to give to your business? What are you willing to give? What are you willing to invest? Now, I know a lot of the times we talk about, Mary Kay was very big on the 5 a.m. club and getting up 5 a.m. and that extra couple hours every day so that you had an extra work day every single week. Because if you got up 2 hours earlier, 5 days a week, that's an extra work day every single week. But here's what I have to tell you, to be honest, the thought of that makes me want to vomit because that's not me, right? I cannot get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I do not want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. But here's what I can do. Here's what I can do is I can stay up late 2 hours at nighttime when my kids are in bed. 2 hours a night, because that works for me. So what works for you? What do you have to give for your business? So for me, when I was growing my business, I can assure you my schedule did not look the same when I was a brand new consultant or a brand new sales director or now a Cadillac sales director. My schedule has changed and adjusted every single step of the way. And so that's what you need to do with your business. Where are you at right now? And what's your next goal? And what are you willing to give, right? So to me, that's the biggest step in deciding where do we go from here, right? What's tomorrow gonna look like for your Mary Kay business and deciding what that is gonna be. So I really encourage you to go home, or you're already at home. I really encourage you to take a minute after this call tonight and be like, what do I want next? And what season am I life in? And where can I invest the time into my business, okay? So I'm gonna give you a couple different examples of when I first started my business and where I am now and how life will change. And here's what I also want you to know is that you have some pretty powerful directors coaching you and mentoring you. And you know what? I bet you their lives look pretty stinking fabulous, right? And that they have everything all perfect and everything's put in place. And Mary Kay just works for them. Sometimes like people just pick up the phone and they book with them and all these things that just magically happen for your sales director, right? It's just kind of, I don't know why. But you know what? Your sales director went through each of these seasons of her business to get where she is today. And that's our hope and our wish for you, is that you can develop as a phenomenal leader and develop yourself in each of these seasons so that you can be the best sales director, so that you can be the best Cadillac sales director. And you know what? So that you can be the best mom, the best wife, the best sister, the best friend, all those things when you learn how to manage the time in your business and your life, okay? So time is measured in between one event to the next event, right? Time is also can be gone in a split second. And time is several hours in between. And you know, time to me is just one of those crazy things that we sometimes feel like we never have enough of. Does anybody ever feel like they have not enough time in a day? Okay. Well, we went over, coincidentally, last night at my unit meeting. It was the week that I talked about time management. So it was so funny that this just went hand in hand together. So some of my gals will already be hearing all this and they're gonna think I'm repeating myself, but that's okay. So 1 second splits as the next is gone. Several hours, a day is over, one day carries into another, and soon weeks pass. Month after month, they pile up, leading to years. you spend a decade wondering where the time went. And so leading into years and generations, and all of a sudden, before your eyes, the century's over. Okay, so where did the time go to? Each day is different. Time is a record of events that occurs throughout history, a history that you and I are all a part of. Okay, so time is used to schedule the events that you have in your life, to transpire, to motivate, to just do all sorts of greatness. And so each of us has the same exact time in a day, each of us. And so as I said to my girls last night at my meeting, I said, you know, those of us that feel like we can never get anything done in a day, but then the same person is sitting beside us getting everything done in one day. What is that? How is that, right? Time can go slowly. It can be like crawling at a snail's pace, or time can speed up and it can zoom, and all of a sudden you're like, I didn't even have a chance to comprehend what happened. Like, where did the time go, right? So sometimes we think that we're in control of time, but sometimes in actual fact, time is controlling you. So I personally think that when you are not getting those things and activities done in a day, it's because you are letting time control you. You are not taking control of the time you have, okay? And so everyone, everything has time. It is there to be carved and shaped as required. So we have to be wise with our time. At this moment, you have all the time you ever need. You have all the time to make your decision. The time is up to you, essentially, what you want to do. And so tell me, I want you to think about this. What is time to you? What is time to you? To me, time is actually the most valuable thing on earth, because everything is acquired in time and everything is conducted by time. You could have food, clothing, you could have fabulous homes, you could have wisdom, you could have it all. But if you don't have time, it means you have nothing at all. So you need to take the time to act. You need to take time for relationships, time to become a better person, time to become a better woman, to become a better leader, time to become a better wife, a mother. You know, all of these things in life require time. So my friends, here's what I want to tell you, is that we need to take control of our time, okay? Take back control of your time. So taking back control of your time by making your own decisions, your own choices, and essentially recovering your time. You know, today, it's so ironic that I was speaking about time today, because today I felt like I just was wasting my time. I wasn't getting anything done. And so I just, you know, you have to notice that and acknowledge it and make a change. You have to be the one that makes change, because no one else can do it for you. There are several things that you can do to begin the process of taking control of your time. And we're going to go over a few tonight. But the most important thing, I feel like, is journaling it and writing it down. What are the things that steal your time? So you can acknowledge it and figure out a way to block them out and to just take back control of your life, okay? So what are some of the things that you want to do, right? That we just always say, well, one day if I have the time, I would do this, or one day I might do that. And so, you know, do you want to travel? Do you want to go tour? Do you want to go on family vacations? Do you want to buy a new home? You know, all these different things that require us to spend more time, more action into our life. But what about your business? What do you want from your business? Do you want to be more financially stable? Do you want to earn world-class trips? Do you want to earn diamond rings? Do you want to become a sales director or earn a car? All of these things in your business require time, followed by action, but time, okay? So it's really important to look at those things and say, okay, what are those things that are taking over my time? And educate yourself on them so that you have all the information you need so that you can make the decisions that are going to better your life and your business and take control essentially of back over your life. So make the decision that feels right to you. So what is it that you want to do? Is your next step sales director? I'm going to talk like sales director, because if it's not your next step, then maybe it should be. So a sales director, is your goal to become a sales director in Mary Kay? So ask people that you trust and that you look up to for guidance. You know, are you connecting with them? Are you feeding your brain with all those powerful positive information and thoughts on a daily basis so that you can better equip yourself, that you are using your time wisely, right? That is what matters. Sit down with your family and decide if the goals that you are working towards are going to be a family goal, and do they know the time that is required for those goals. When I first started Mary Kay, I was I had, where was I? So I worked the 2-time jobs. I was a red jacket, and you know, as a red jacket, I was holding meetings in my own home as a red jacket because I was like, I don't have a sales director. My sales director had stepped down, and you know, da 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 da. And I was like, I wasn't having a pity party. I was like, you know what? I'm doing this business for me and for my family. That's to be, because kids weren't even in the radar at the time. I wasn't even married. And so I'm like, what do I need to do? And so to me, that's what I needed to do. I needed to build a team. And so in order to build a team, I had to use my time wisely. I had to do meetings. I had to do all these things around working my full-time job, right? And so what is that schedule going to look like for you, for your goal? Have you adapted your schedule for your goal and for your life right now, right? Because I can assure you, it's probably changed since you started your business 6 months, 7 months, 7 years ago. It's probably changed, right? Do you not agree that your business has probably changed a little bit and your schedule needs to adapt? Okay. So you got to figure that out and decide what that's going to look like for you. Now, plan your strategies for making your life the way you want it to be. Figure out the best way and then work with it. Then get started. Get started like now. If you have a goal that you want to do, why wait? Here's a story I want to tell you. And so when I started Mary Kay, I caught the big vision of Mary Kay quite early. You know why? Because my sales director was a very smart woman. And I started in April of 2008, and she's started with big inventory, all the products, because I was a good student. I said, tell me what to do and I'm going to do it. Because if I'm going to try this and give it a fair go, I'm going to do my best to be a good student. So that's what I did. And then she said, okay, so now there's this big event in in July, and it's called Seminar. And so we have to go to Toronto and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, I'm a good student. I'm going to do this. And so back then, flights to Toronto were $1,200, just so y'all know. So this $600-700 that we're paying now is nothing compared to what I had to pay when I started my business. And that was coming from Prince George. Okay. So I caught the vision really early because she told me to go, and I did. And so I seen it. I walked into that seminar arena and I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing this for life. Like, I'm here. I'm going to be a national sales director. I'm going to be on that stage. Like, I mean, I caught the vision from the minute I was in that arena. And so, but the thing is, the vision hasn't ever changed. I've been in Mary Kay for 12 years, and I still believe that I will be a national sales director and I will walk on that stage because it's planted in me, right? But here's the thing. So when I caught that vision of sales director, I was like, yeah, one day I'm going to be a sales director. So my sales director kept asking me, she said, when are you going to do it? And she said, well, you know, sales director, you should be a sales director. Like, this is what we do. And you'll be such a good leader. And I just thought she was crazy, right? Because I was like, you know, like, you have no idea, right? Like, I'm not going to be good at this. I don't even know how to do this business. I am awful at selling the product. Like, I was not a role model beauty consultant, let me tell you. There were numerous parties that I had where I had sold $0. But you know what? I learned and I adapted, right? And so here's what I want to talk about with time, is that you have the time and the decision to decide right now. I told my sales director, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it one day. Yeah, I'll be a sales director. Yep. And so I kept saying that. And so here's what I didn't know, is that she was actually counting on me. She was relying on me to help build her business because she needed me to motivate her. And I didn't know that. She told me afterwards because we're really good friends now. But she also stepped down as a sales director now because of things in her life. But I often wonder, if I had stepped up like I said I was going to, for all those years that I was going to move myself forward, would she have stepped down? Would she still be in Mary Kay? Right? Would I have gave her what she needed to push herself forward? But because I wasn't making a decision, because I was being a little bit lazy, selfish, right? What is it? So, when you're making those decisions in your business, you have to think like, so many other women's dreams are attached to your dreams. We hear this in Mary Kay all the time, and we don't necessarily see it or believe it, but it is so true, right? So you have the decision to move yourself forward today. You have the decision to move yourself wherever it is that you want to be in Mary Kay today, right? So you are the CEO of your company. You are the boss of your company. You are the boss babe of all boss babes. And so it is so important to schedule your business like a boss babe. Okay. Now, there are different ways to schedule yourself and to get yourself in a planner or, in front of you and whatnot. But for me, I'm a pen to paper kind of gal. Like, I have a day planner and I like 1000% swear by my day planner. But it doesn't matter if you are, I have a really good girlfriend. I always refer to her. She's not on this video, but I'm sure she would be laughing. Sarah Bardell. She's a top sales director in Canada. Love her to bits. She is the most techie friend besides Carol that I have ever met. And she could like tap my phone and be like, oh, here, here's all this information and all these fancy little things. And I'm like, blah, the thought of that for me just, again, makes me want to vomit. That is not me. So that's okay. If that's you, super. If that's what makes you roll and keeps you organized, wicked, right? Some of the things like, Carol and I are like completely polar opposites in how we run our business. But how funny that we can both be top sales directors and work together at the same pace and do all these great magical things, but be completely different opposite people, right? So I am a paper day planner kind of gal. To me, I need to visually see it in a planner in front of me, okay? So the importance of scheduling is beyond measurable. Scheduling is beyond measurable. So I was telling my girls last night, you have to actually schedule a time to schedule your day planner. Like, that's how important it is. So for me, I schedule a time to schedule my day planner. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but unless I schedule it and to make my month or my quarter happen, it doesn't happen. You can't just wake up in the morning and be like, today is a glorious day. I don't know what I'm going to do with my business, but it's going to be awesome. It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. I don't know what magical land you're living in, but you need to be intent and you have to be on. And so imagine any CEO of any company. Do you think they would not set a schedule? Do you think they would just wake up daily and be like, hey, well, what's life going to throw me today? Not happening. Not happening, right? So you have to be a smart business owner, and you have to understand the importance of planning and scheduling. So I can't even put this into you enough, how important it is to schedule yourself, okay? So whatever that is going to look like for you, and identify the times where you want to work your business. Now, I am so ridiculously huge on this that it's like when I sit down with my new consultants, this is the first thing I go over with them. It's like, when do you want to work? How much do you want to work? Do you have another job? What does your family life schedule look like? Okay. So again, when I started Mary Kay, my schedule is completely different than what it is now. But I'm going to give you a little idea of what it looks like now. So for me, Mary Kay's been my full-time job for the past 9 years. I don't have another job besides Mary Kay and besides being a mom. So for me, first and foremost, being a mom is my number one job. Okay. That is my number one priority. And so right now, that's what goes into my calendar first, is all my kids' activities. So my kids are in hockey, they're figure skating. In the summer, they play soccer and basketball, and they got all these crazy things, field trips, and anything that they have, I put in my day planner first. First and foremost, that goes into my day planner. Second of all, and this may be hard to believe, but the second most important thing in my life and my business is me, for real. So I schedule a pampering session of some sort for myself once a month. So I'll either go get a pedicure, I'll go get my hair done, I'll get my nails done, I'll get a massage, something once a month. You know why? Because I deserve it. And that's what matters. And so I will do that. Second thing, the next thing that I'll do, or also the next thing is I play soccer. So soccer goes into my calendar next for me and I schedule around it. And then is family. So of course, family comes next. And so I try to schedule a date night with my husband once a month because, well, if I don't schedule it, it don't happen. And so in order to have a happy relationship and to like my husband still, we need to have date nights. Don't you agree? Yes. Okay. So I actually have to schedule that in. It may sound cheesy and silly, but it's really true. If I don't do it, it doesn't happen. And so, you know, once a month, we just plan something where we get together and go do something. And then I plan one family night a month. So either it's a games night or we're going bowling or something where the 5 of us can get together and just love to be in each other's space. Okay. So to me, that's how Mary Kay wanted it, right? Oh, and church is in there too. So church every week is in there as well in my calendar. So that's like my family time. Okay. From there, I decide, okay, how much I want to do my business, what goal I'm working on, and what I want to do next. And so that is what makes the next decision is how many IPAs am I going to do this week and where can I fit in pink into my day planner that is going to allow me to make money for my family and grow my business. So that's how I schedule myself. And like I said, I legitimately schedule a time to schedule my time. Now, with that, it really depends on you and who you as a person are. Sometimes you got to try things. And if it doesn't work and it's not working for you, then try something else. Like, because I tell you to do something or Angie tells you to do something, it doesn't mean it is the way you have to do something. We're only giving you suggestions to better your business, to make you stronger, to make you beauty consultants who love their business, who want to wake up and do it every single day, okay? So hear my heart on this. If what I'm telling you or what we're telling you is not working for you, then don't do it, right? Change it up, figure it out. You know, it has taken me like 12 day planners to be like, I actually like this day planner and this works for me. Yay! Winning, okay? So I don't even know where my thought was going with that. Okay. Sorry guys, I get so excited about this. So your IPAs. Okay, so that's what I need to do next. And I decide, am I working on a big goal? Do I just want to be a happy beauty consultant right now and put a little bit of money in my pocket? Or am I being a part of a team and helping my team become a top 10 unit in all of Canada? Yep, that's pretty much where I'm at. I think every single one of you are at that goal, because I know your leaders are working towards that goal. And so I don't know about you, but I'm a team player. And if my leader is going for something, I'm doing everything I can to help. And so for me, that's going to be all in. And so all in Mary Kay, as you know, is 3 parties a week, right? So where do I fit those 3 parties in? Around my life that I just scheduled. Okay. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you guys how you do that? Okay, so when I was a new beauty consultant and I was working a regular job, a JOB as we call it, the just over broke, that took different scheduling. So your daily decisions decide your destiny in Mary Kay. So what is your daily routine gonna look like? To me, that makes all the difference. If you get up in the morning and you dawdle and you do a whole lot of nothing before you start your day, you're essentially wasting your time, right? You're wasting your time, that precious, valuable time that you could be doing so much more with. So Mary Kay often said that your success lies hidden in your daily routine. The longer that I'm in this company, the more I realize that that is so true, that the success is hidden in your daily routine, the daily decisions that bring us to where we want to be. So where again, it's all, I see how all of it just ties together. So where do you want to be in your business? Those daily decisions are going to help you get there. Okay. So I would even go as far as to say that there are really only two things to help you in this business: time management and action. Time management and action, deciding when you're going to work and then get to work. That's it. The rest doesn't even matter. I am so not a details person. you could tell me like all the things that are going on in the company right now. And I just know I need to do 3 parties a week. I need to see 30 faces a month. And I just need to figure out where I'm going to put them in. That's it. Like, that's how I run my business. Call me crazy. That's all right. Sales directors do it all the time. So time management. So you got to get your month in a glance. You got to get focused, figuring out what that is going to be and what that's going to look like for you. Okay. We've already talked about that, but I wanted to talk to you about, I have it in here. I have my notes somewhere about when I was a new beauty consultant and what I had to do, because I don't know if you guys realize this, but we all have the same 24 hours in a day. We all have the same amount of time, same life, same schedule, same crazy. What you choose to do with it is up to you. Okay. So I think it's so important to just recognize that and figure out what you can do right now. I know I'm probably repeating myself over and over, but that's the importance of it. Okay. So I don't know where this page, when I used to like do my scheduling, because again, it changed, right, over the seasons. So before, schedule myself daily activities, and I still do this to a certain degree, but now I have office help. I have an office assistant who does my workload in the office so that I can focus on my skills, on things I'm good at, my people, my parties, my classes, and building, right? So we went over this last night. And so some of the things, it just breaking down every day. And so deciding, are you going to be a beauty consultant that works 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week? Are you all in right now? Like, do you need to be laser focused? Because I remember when I was in DIQ, it felt like I was working 12 days a week. I don't know how, there's only 7 days in a week, but it felt like I was working 12 days a week, right? That was the goal in that stage of my life. And I am so thankful it's over, that I never have to do that again. But I am so grateful that I did it, because now look where it's put me, right? Each of these steps that you take in your journey of Mary Kay is going to lead you to where your future is, right? So I'm so grateful for that. Okay, so my daily calendar before used to look like, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I would figure it out. So 6 days a week I was working. So Mondays, I had to book a new appointment for next week. That was my non-negotiable, because I worked 2 full-time jobs. I was like, as long as I have a party next week, we're good, right? Like, that was what I needed. I have to have a conversation or booking with 3 new women. So every Monday I would schedule my life so that I could go and meet 3 new women. So what that looked like for me back then was my twins, or just little itty bitty, and I would take them to a Strong Start program. And we would go and I would meet the moms, and I would have 3 conversations with 3 moms every day. That was my Monday routine, is that I had to meet 3 women. And if I didn't meet 3 new women at Strong Start, then I had to go somewhere else that would allow me to meet 3 women. Does that take some discipline? Mm-hmm. But did it need to happen? Mm-hmm. Was I going to meet them anywhere else, chugging my toddlers around? No, I had to be intentional about it, right? And so and then Mondays I would also plan for my guests for my weekly success meeting. Back then I allowed guests to my meetings. I don't anymore. It's strictly consultants now and learning, and I'm like, hi D, I don't know if you guys noticed. And then Mondays would be sending my thank you cards and my hostess and things like that. So my Monday activity that I had to do happened every Monday. Those are the things that I needed to do. That was my non-negotiable. Then the next day I would hold a skincare class, or I would, then the next thing I would have is another conversation with 3 women, right? Or I would do team member contacts. Like, so every day it was something different of an IPA that needed to be done, because sometimes I think we feel so overwhelmed that we have all these things to do in Mary Kay, but if you actually did them, they would take like 5-10 minutes to do a day, right? But you will get success for the rest of your life in your business. I don't know about you guys, but I want long-term success in my business. I want this business to make me be able to stay at home with my kids for the rest of my life. I want this business to allow my husband and I to retire at a very early age and travel the world, right? Like, I don't know what your intents are with your business, but this is doable. Like, that is doable. So those daily activities, what do they look like for you? Write it down, like get it on a list. and figure out when you're going to do it and decide to get it done. Okay. So that's just an idea. Now, for me, now with my life, with my schedule, the thought of doing each of those things just wouldn't work for me. My schedule is too crazy all over the place. With my kids' sports, it wouldn't work. So I take now, Monday nights are my booking calls. I take 1 hour on Monday nights and I book for the next 2 weeks. And every Monday night, I do the same thing. I book for the next 2 weeks, then I pre-profile. So I always have bookings in my books, but that works for me. It may not work for you. Try it. If it doesn't, call your director and be like, Raven's idea sucked. What's next? Right? You got to figure out what's going to work for you. Okay. Now, the one last thing that I want to talk about for this subject specifically is breaking your day into sections. And so this was something that I was taught by my senior now, Shelly Hazlitt, who's been in the Mary Kay for years and years and years to come. So she is a pioneer in Mary Kay. So she's seasoned and equipped with knowledge. And so she said, you know, think about your Mary Kay day as a regular job. Okay. So if you worked a regular job, your essentially job would be from 9 to 5, correct? 8 hours usually, generally. And then you come home and do a few things and then go to bed. Okay. So if you think about your job and your Mary Kay job together, you would essentially have from your regular job and your life, you would essentially have from 9 to 9, right? From 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. Now, breaking this day into sections. So if you worked at a job from 9 to 5, that's 8 hours. So section 1 would be the morning, section 2 would be the afternoon, and section 3 would be the evening. So you could break your day into 3 sections every single day: morning, afternoon, and evening. Okay. Now the morning and afternoon, if you work a regular job, are working. So morning and afternoon, working, evening, usually family, right? So what I had to do at this stage of my life in my business was I said, okay, every day I have to do 2 sections of Mary Kay and 1 section of family. Okay, are you following me? Give me a nod if you're following me. Yes? Okay. So Mondays for me would look a little different. So Monday morning, I would be in my office doing office things and whatever it was that needed to be done in my office. Okay, so booking calls, scheduling, things like that. The afternoon, I did nothing because that was my children time. So 3 parts, right? 1, 2, 3. This is my afternoon, my family time. And in the evening, needed to be a Mary Kay time, booking a party, doing booking calls, whatever it may be. So 2 sections Mary Kay to 1 section personal, right? So I could never feel bad about doing too much Mary Kay if I had that 1 section of family time. Okay. So Tuesdays, for example, for me, Tuesdays were my meetings. So Monday, I was in my office doing an afternoon makeover or prep or meeting prep or whatever, afternoon with my kids, and evenings, I did my meetings. So that was my 2 sections of Mary Kay, 1 section of personal, right? Wednesdays, at that time, I was taking my kids to Strong Start on that days. So mornings were my kids' day in the morning. Afternoon, I usually at that time got my dad to come over and watch him in the afternoon for me. And then I did deliveries, I did my running around, or I would just let them sleep in the car. Sometimes that was their nap time. Like, you're a busy mom, you make it work, right? So I scheduled it according to when their naps would be. And in the evenings, I would do a party or a guest event or something like that. Again, Mary Kay, 2 times Mary Kay, 1 time personal, just like at a job. If I worked a 9 to 5 job, that's what it would look like. 2 sections job, 1 section personal. So I could never, ever feel bad for doing too much Mary Kay because I was doing what I would do at a regular job. And so do any of you ever have that mom guilt where you're like, oh, I'm doing too much Mary Kay, I'm not paying attention to my kids? Well, in actual fact, you're probably not, right? You're probably not doing enough Mary Kay, and you're probably doing too much kids time, because I know, like, we can easily get into that, right? It's so easy to be like, well, the kids, they need me. Mama, I'm here to tell you they don't need you. They need to know the basics and then get to work. They need you to be working. They need you to be financially stable. They need a roof and food over their heads, and they ain't going to be able to get that by themselves. Let me tell you that. Okay. So that's for me, that helped and made me understand and made me lose mommy guilt and be like, okay, 2 sections Mary Kay, 1 section personal. Where's it going to be today? Right. And so at that time, I was doing 3 parties on a Saturday afternoon because that's all I could do. I was working 2 full-time jobs. So Saturday afternoon, I would do nothing. And then I would do party, right? In the afternoon and evening. Sometimes I would in that 8-hour section, I would get 3 parties done. You know why? I had a goal to help. I had a goal to do. At that time, I was earning $500,000 and I was working towards a Cadillac, and that needed to happen. So it wouldn't have happened if I didn't get 3 parties done in a week. I know that. It's statistics. If you're not seeing enough faces, you're not going to move yourself forward in your business, right? That's inevitable. And that's the cold, hard truth. I'm sorry to hear it. But if you want to, it's doable because you just have to schedule it in and make it happen, okay? So I hope that gives you a little bit of insight on scheduling and time management and helping yourself get prepared to that next step, that next season, that next journey in your Mary Kay career. What is that going to look like for you? Are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to get it into your day planner? Are you wanting to get it into your day planner? Or are you just going to be that CEO that wakes up in the morning and be like, wonder what today's going to bring me? Friends, make a decision, right? So I want to read you guys this poem. I know I read it to my girls last night, but it's my favorite poem about time. So I just think it's so important to hear. So imagine there is a bank account that credits each morning with $86,400. It carries over no balance from day to day. Every evening, it deletes whatever part of that balance you failed to use during the day. What would you do? Well, you would draw out every cent, of course, and use every cent of it. Well, the fun fact is that each of us has such an account, and that is called time. Every morning, it credits you 86,400 seconds. Every night, it writes off as lost whatever this you have failed to use or invest for good purpose. It just carries over no balance. It allows no overdraft. Each day, it opens a new account for you. Each night, it burns the remains of the day. If you fail to use the deposits, it's your loss. There is no going back. There's no drawing against tomorrow. You must live in the present on today's deposits. Invest it so as to get from it the utmost health, happiness, and success. The clock is running. Make the most of today. To realize the value of 1 year, ask a student who failed a grade. To realize the value of 1 month, ask a mother who gave birth to a premature baby. To realize the value of 1 week, ask the editor of a daily news. Let me try that again. To realize the value of 1 week, ask the editor of a weekly newspaper. To realize the value of 1 day, ask a daily wage laborer with 3 kids to feed. To realize the value of 1 hour, ask the lovers who are waiting to meet. To realize the value of 1 minute, ask a person who missed the train. To realize the value of 1 second, ask a person who just avoided a car accident. To realize the value of 1 millisecond, ask the person who won a silver medal at the Olympics. Treasure every moment that you have, and treasure it more because you have people special in your life enough to share it with. And remember that time waits for no one. Yesterday is history, tomorrow a mystery, today is a gift, and that is why it is called the present. So my friends, I really just, my hope and wish is that you will go home and that you will figure out what your time is going to be, how it's going to be spent, and where you're going to make the utmost of it, okay? So before you click off, I need to do your draw. I'm just writing your names to the new people who joined since I wrote them down earlier. I'm just gonna check here. So Steph, I don't have you. And Steph, Nora, Christine, Rosemary, Christine, Rhonda, Ashley got, Selena, yeah, I got you. Cheryl, got you. And Crystal, yes, I have, nope, I don't have you. Just kidding, Crystal. And I think Patricia and Vanessa. Okay, perfect. Yay. Oh, look at all your comments. Yay, I love it. Thank you guys. We just want the best for you guys. We just want you to have everything you deserve. And so I really hope that you understand that and that you know that and you feel our hearts when we are preparing these for you, that we just want you guys to have the best that you can have. And so I really hope that you take the time to decide what that's going to look like for you, especially finishing off this quarter. Okay, so all your names are here. I'm gonna like scooch them around, blah, 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 all over. Oh, press something. I hope I didn't lose you guys. Oh, there you go. Oh, cheapest. You're more than welcome for my time, anytime. Thank you. Thank you for being on. And you know what? It makes this so much easier for us to have you guys on because it's really awkward like talking to ourselves. So at least I can like look at your faces and see if you actually are engaging and or you just think I'm crazy and you know, that's okay too. But it's nice to see that you guys are here. Okay, so here we go, prize. I'm mixing it up. And so I'm gonna go like this. And here is this person, Cheryl! Yay, Cheryl! Congratulations. So I'll get Nadia to send me your address and I will ship you out a little gift. Awesome. Right, Cheryl? You're Nadia's, correct? Yes, I think so. Yeah. Okay. Awesome, ladies. Well, thank you so much for being with us. Love to you all. Have a powerful, powerful finish. Work on your 13% increases because I know that that's what your sales directors are working on. All right, girls. Have an awesome, awesome night. Love you.